Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right! Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out! Cause live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Blast off! Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Woohoo! Welcome to another OffWorld. Like the song says, every Friday night. Of course, the song also says Matthew, Jesse, Sean. Don't see those guys. I don't know. Whatever. But I'm here. I got Joe here with me, and I got 2.0 crew. So, Joe, how you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing fantastic. So happy to be here. I hope everybody's pumped up because I'm ready to go off world. And I banged my desk and like
Nice.
3 toys fell over.
Yeah. I just did the same thing. I just knocked over a couple of myself. Ryan, what about you? How you doing, sir?
I'm happy to be on Off-World Joe G Live, man. It's
There you go.
a good time.
Anywhere there's Joe G, he's live. So,
Yeah, it's a good time.
Chris,
Buckle up.
how you doing tonight, sir?
I am tired. I had a very long week this week between work and I coached 2 baseball teams. And my wife's like, "You're really going to do that thing on Friday night?" I'm like, "Hell yeah! This is the one thing for me all week." So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have an unhappy ending and get in tonight's topics.
Very nice. Well, I gotta say, Chris, you look fantastic. Like you are coming in crystal clear, no buffering. I mean, the picture is like pristine. It's like totally HD. So
That's because all the kids are off of Fortnite and whatever other games they're playing. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we are going to talk some unhappy ending tonight. But first, let me just kind of call out the folks we got in chat. So we've got Dave Orkin out there, Jeff Evans, Eddie, Kevin McCoy, Sig is out there, Wholesome Warlock, Jacob Forna, JMax77, Kevin Hamilton, Amber Gonzalez. We talked to her a little bit before the show. She's doing great. And Dub3. So, and G is out there. Guaisagwe Echevarria. And we got Trevor, 1-6 shooter, just jumped in. So, as well as looks like I'm guessing that Schmerber, new to Mythics. So beautiful. Well, appreciate everybody joining us. I'm sorry you didn't have anything better to do on a Friday, but we're going to have some fun. So hopefully you enjoy it too. We're going to start off with some toy pickups, and I'm going to start with Joe because apparently he's got a plethora of things to show. So, Joe, why don't you
Just
hit
some
it?
really, really cool things. So I picked up the Hasbro Dungeons and Dragons Driss Duorden and Guinevere figures.
Nice.
Pack right there.
Yeah, man, it actually was way better than what I was expecting. A lot of articulation, especially on the cat. She's looking good. Driss comes with both of his famous weapons. I only have one on, but it's got a spell effect for both of them. But and this little tiny so Guinevere is summoned through this onyx figurine, and it actually comes with the figurine. I've got him holding it pretty tight. I don't want to take it out, but
Nice.
this is a really great a really great figure. I was surprised. The scale is a little small, but you know, it's just nice to have them in my collection. I'm a
More of
D&D
like
fan, so
the
of
6
course,
inch kind of scale.
yeah, it probably scales closer to Marvel Legends than
Gotcha.
you know, like Mythic Legions, but that's pretty cool. Came with a big ass D20 that has the D&D logo on it. I don't know why I'm looking for it. My internet isn't good enough for you guys to see that, but it's a pretty cool D20 that it came with. So and Gwenhavar has a lot of articulation. It's a really cool figure as well. So I'm happy to add those to my D&D shelf that I'm building.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up the last 2 NECA D&D figures that I needed that are out so far. I got Warduke.
Nice.
That is nice.
Figures, yeah, he is a pretty darn cool figure, and just to show the scale, like this looks miniature next to him. Well, I guess elf sized. Maybe they are in scale. Elves are pretty small.
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at the chat because I said plethora, and then they went on a whole tangent, and then it made me start thinking of Three Amigos when he says, "Would you say I have a plethora of pinatas?" And then G said that, so I'm just it's like such a fucking rare like Three Amigos reference that was going in my head, and then he just put it on there. So purple brain. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, like yeah. How do you know it's a male plane? You see the little balls hanging down.
Exactly.
Right. So he's pretty cool. I'm really happy with this one. I love the flame effect on the sword. It's pretty dope. I think I'm gonna have to
his
get
knees
the
don't look
other
near
one
as
that
jacked up as the Strongheart.
no, they actually look a little. I don't know. He's got like really long legs and kind of a short torso. And
Mhm.
Strongheart has a long torso and short legs.
Yep.
So I mean, I guess variety is nice, but they do look a little strange standing next to each other.
Mm.
They're definitely from different tribes. So he's pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to kick G out of the chat if he keeps making me laugh. Either that or I'm gonna send him an invite to jump on.
Right.
Oh, that
and
one
then I
looks
picked
cool.
up
I like that.
Elkhorn, and
That's cool.
this figure is amazing. My favorite accessory that he comes with, and he comes with a lot, is he's got a little moonshine jug, and he actually has a hand where he can hold it with one finger, like he's taking a pull on it. He comes with this cool backpack. The sword and the axe come out. It actually is hollow. I'm not going to be able to get the stuff out, but you can put stuff in there.
Nice.
It's like stuck right now, and I don't want to dig it out. But yeah, he comes with a few more weapons too.
How does
really
he
big
scale
weapons
next to like a Mythic Legion dwarf? I'm guessing probably a little taller.
Bigger, yeah. I don't have one within arm's reach, but
That's fine.
Well,
He'll probably be at least an inch or so bigger, right?
I don't know if he'd be that big, but I think a little bit taller.
I mean, they're not.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's closer.
he's taller, but not. Yeah,
that's a lot closer.
He's just.
If it wasn't for the horns, he might be about.
He's the basketball player dwarf.
Yeah.
That orange steel
He's
hut.
dunking on all the dwarves from Mythic Legions, but
yeah, that's a flex on Joe's part. He's like, let me just pull out this horn out of nowhere. Yeah.
It was just the closest one. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He could have grabbed a Legion Builder dwarf, but he's like, no, let me pull out this one that nobody has. All right, cool.
The Legion Builder is way across the room. We don't put the rare ones anywhere close. So
gotcha.
And I did get my Outpost Axios in, and I opened them all last night, and it's an amazing wave. I'm not going to show them all off, but I did have to bring out the Sphexian Miner because this figure is freaking amazing. Like the colors on the wings, the way they faded the purple with the white, and it's just an incredible figure. Like, I think this is my new favorite Cosmic Legion. Not
And does
just
it
because he's a
remind-
minor, but that doesn't hurt. So.
Yeah. Does he look like any of the people that you work with in the mines?
I do work with some white guys. Yeah, I mean, so they're not super attractive. So I guess, yeah, maybe not the wings, but but yeah, this is a really cool wave. I'm super impressed so far. So
that's cool.
And everything popped together. The only time I had to break out the hair dryer was for the little arms on the Spexian. The rest of the wave, I could swap hands, everything that I needed to, even putting the tail on Scourge was super easy. His body popped right apart, popped right back together again. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Joe, is that the way you have found that works best for you to heat up figures is with the hair dryer? I've been putting them into like a plastic baggie into like a warm microwaved bowl of water. I've never tried the hair dryer thing though.
Yes, my hair dryer is really hot though. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to hold it on them very long, but it works good for me for legions. If I need to take apart figures that are really tight, I just put them in extremely hot water.
Yeah.
And soften them up that way. I don't even put them in a baggie. I just dunk them in the water.
I've got a heat gun.
Either works pretty
my workstation, and so that thing gets really fucking hot. So you just got to make sure you keep it moving so you don't melt the plastic. But it works pretty well. But like this week, I was taking apart a troll, and that thing wasn't doing anything. You had to boil that thing. So, if it's something that's just too tight, water's probably your best bet. But most times you can get by with either a hair dryer or a heat gun. So I just use the heat gun because I keep it plugged next to me, and it like heats up like nothing, man. It like takes no time at all. So
for hands and stuff. I think for Mythic Legion's legs on the 1.0 figures, I like water better, hot water better. But
gotcha.
I guess it just depends. Yeah,
we will go to Chris next. So, Chris, what do you got?
So I did get some stuff in this week. I haven't got a chance to really open anything yet, but I got a legend in this new Vision.
Oh that looks cool.
Yeah, building out my. I kind of got it back in the Legends the last few weeks with watching X-Men 97. So I'm like trying to fill in some holes in my Avengers and my X-Men stuff. So he was a big hole. I had the white version of him that came on the retro card, but I needed the green and yellow. So this was up on Amazon, so I grabbed him. This isn't even a line that I'm supposed to collect, but the reviews on them were so good, and they did such a great job with the Street Fighter figures that I started picking up these Mega Man figures.
Oh, I was wondering about those.
Dude. So this week while I was working, I had all these reviews going in the background, and I don't know, I went down a rabbit hole, and every reviewer spoke so highly of these guys that I was like, you know what? I got to try them. And there's 3 in the wave. So there's Iceman, which I didn't pick up yet, but I figured he was going to be the easiest one to find. So I figured, let me try Mega Man and Fireman. And I'll let you know how they are, but they're supposed to be really good. I mean,
once you actually open them up and break them out of their prisons, give us a holler.
Yeah, I'm so backlogged right now. I've got probably like 12 classified Joes I still got to open. I haven't had a lot of time, but the Street Fighter figures are so good, and this is the same company, and so I had to give them a try.
Yeah, I threw all my Joes in the garage and canceled my pre-orders. So I don't know, man.
We still love you, Curtis. It's okay.
Yeah. I love the classifieds. I don't love displaying them. I think 7-inch scale has ruined me for 6-inch scale. Like it's just, unless I've got it somewhere, like if I get some floating shelves somewhere where I'm going to pass by it and I have to turn and look at it, like that I would do. But like from across the room, 6-inch scale is just too small, in my opinion, for my old eyes. So it's just, I think they're doing a great job, and I love opening them. I love looking at them when I open them, but then it's like, okay, I'm done with this now. Like, that's it. I just want the experience of opening it, and then, it can go away. So,
Yeah, I will tell you, they are space eater. Like, the other thing I got in, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, was that SMS, the Hasbro Pulse, the missile launcher thing.
yeah.
And I haven't opened it yet. And I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going to fit it, because like that with the his tank, it's too big for a Billy bookcase.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that I have pre-ordered, and there's a lot of stuff that are coming down the pipeline, and it just eats so much space, So yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's right. If it's not at least 7 inches, that's not enough for me. So, there you go. But I really like the Mondos, because 12 inches is like perfect for me. I love a good 12-incher. So,
do you like
this was the size?
Ryan, what do you got this week?
Well, I finally got a Carver Customs.
Ooh, man, that's awesome.
So badass.
Okay. So how does it, like, is there a wire? It looks like there's something going behind him. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you got to be careful with it. I tucked it into his hand with it. It's pretty fragile. And then it's just, so I kind of wanted to hide it, so like that if I take pictures or something, I can make it real easy.
Yeah. See, I like that. I got I can't remember who the guy was that was doing the lights. I think it was Charles Swearingen that was doing the lights for the Arachagores. And I don't like the wire and the switch and like if there was a really easy way to hide that, like I probably would do more of that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
kind of like the figure that you got that's activated by the magnets.
Yeah.
That's more than, but that would be
or if somehow you can incorporate like a switch on the staff itself or something like that, to where like everything is internal, that would be awesome. So
still badass.
Well, looks like my quote is going to make it into PGG Live this week, so be looking for that tomorrow.
And then I also got this guy right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was hard to find. Yeah.
Shout out to Dylan for picking this up for me. I grabbed it.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he gave it to me at the Lehigh Valley Toy Show, dude. I was super excited to get this.
Oh, you picked it up from him directly?
Yeah.
Did you give him one of those, like the whole Predator, Dylan, you son of a bitch? Did you give him,
No, it was more like
your bicep was like all huge and shit?
No, I bear hugged him and I was like, just a little more.
Nah, you gotta show the bicep. You gotta go bam, and like
I don't have them. This is flat,
man.
That's what happens when you get.
That's the bottom part. It's the top part. That's the good part. So there you go.
There's the guns.
Man, somebody call the cops. I didn't know you were bringing guns to the show. Holy shit! All right. Anything else this week, Ryan?
No, that was it.
All right, then I will slide in, and I will tell you guys, I've been slacking. I actually, up until like 10 minutes before the show, I had not opened any figures this week, so I rushed and was trying to open up two figures really quickly. So I do have the Hot Wing from Super 7 Super 7 Silverhawks. It's not bad. I know Joe was complaining about it being too yellow. I will tell you, it is less yellow than the Stargazer. Stargazer is like yellow. Like there's no gold to it. This at least has some gold to it. And it's not a bad figure. I
wasn't complaining. That was an observation.
No, I'm just saying, like it is more yellow than what it should be probably, but it's not near as yellow as that Stargazer. That Stargazer is ridiculously yellow. But yeah, he looks pretty good. He's got I did notice his bird, the legs don't move. Some of the other birds, the the legs have been articulated, but this one doesn't. It's got like zero articulation whatsoever. So I'm not sure. I mean, I know I've got a problem with my what is it? Silver heart or steel heart, where her bird won't stay on her arm because the legs are too floppy. So maybe they had some problems with it and decided not to articulate them anymore. I'm not sure, but anyway, he's cool. Got nothing really bad to say. So, and then did have my kids were at Target today. They picked up Batgirl Cassandra Cain for me to add to my Batman shelf. And this one's kind of unique because it is a McFarlane figure, but this is one of the first ones that they've started doing wired soft goods. And I've seen a few that are coming out in the near future and that are out right now that have these wired soft goods. And that's new for them. And, you know, for $20, this figure with wired soft goods is not too bad. That's a pretty good buy. So, yeah.
Is that all it was, Curtis? Was $20? I thought they had a price jump this year.
It might have been 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been like 24, but still, I mean, for a fully articulated figure, soft goods, she got a couple accessories, you know, the card, like that's still a really good price, considering that we were paying, you know, almost that for, you know, no soft goods. So yeah, anyway, I did see, I think there's a Batman and there's a couple other ones out that are either out or coming out with soft goods. So there's a Robin that just got revealed that's got soft goods with it. So anyhow, be on the lookout. I guess that's the thing they're moving to, and that's cool. I like it. And I think that is it for what I've got. I did buy something, but it's not in this week. So it was probably a couple months ago, where we were talking about they had the JLA wave, the Plastic Man build figure wave, and I wanted that blue Superman, which we ended up finding one. It was like just came in stock on Big Bad Toy Store, and I got like the last one. So
I tried to buy it.
Yeah. So, and at the time I said, I guarantee they're going to do a platinum edition that's going to be the red version. You know, like no way that they don't do that. And sure enough, they did a platinum edition red version, but I can't find that fucker anywhere. But I've got to have it. Like I absolutely have to have that. Like that is my era Superman. I went through the whole, you know, Death and Return and into the, you know, the 2 electric versions and all that. So I had to have that one. So I did buy that on eBay this week. Paid more than what I should have, but I'm excited that one's going to be coming home and be in my collection. So I don't have that yet, but I'm pretty excited for that one.
Well, what's the average going price on that one right now, Curtis?
I paid $75.
Oh,
so,
that's not too bad.
No, I mean there was I saw them ranging from anywhere between 70 to like 100. And there was a guy that had one out there for 85, and it was out there for a couple days, and it had or best offer. I offered him 75, and he took it. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
There was one at Lehigh Valley that was, I think it was 70.
Yeah.
Had I known you were looking for it, I would have hit you up and I could have just shipped it to you.
I honestly didn't. I mean, I had predicted that they were going to do a red one, and I was like 99% sure they were going to do one, but I didn't even know for sure that they had one until I saw it this week. And I think from the time that I knew that it existed till the time I purchased it was about 10 minutes. So, yeah. So it didn't leave a lot of time for me to contact my friends and have them look for me. So,
gotcha.
I bet you that goes up in price because the quantities across all the lines are way down, and people are still sort of trained that, hey, someone's going to hit discount, you're going to find it easier, and it's just not happening. I mean, there was a post going around this week about Star Wars Black Series that a lot of these reveals and stuff that they're showing aren't even going to be available in Europe just because there's not enough quantities.
Yeah.
So all of these companies have cut, and I've been kind of preaching this for like the last 9 months. Like if you see it, get it, because it's only going to get harder. and you're going to see that with a lot of line. I'm not talking Four Horsemen stuff. I'm saying like mainline stuff. You're going to see, it used to be if you bought it right off the bat, you're going to pay the premium, and then it was going to drop. I think it's going to go the other way.
Yeah, I mean, McFarlane does some weird shit because they'll put out some stuff like the regular version will be the one that like nobody really cares about, and they put out a fucking shit ton of them. And then the exclusive one is the one that everybody wants, and it's super limited. And it's like, why not give the people the regular one, the one that they want, and then make the one that's probably less popular, make that the exclusive. Like a good example is the Hawkman. The Hawkman came out. And they did like the 0 hour version of Hawkman, and they put like 10 trillion of them out there in the world. And everybody wanted the one that was the other color that was really like the superpowers color.
Yep.
And so it was like super hard to come by. And like this red and blue Superman, there's no reason that either one of them had to be an exclusive. Like they're both popular enough that you can throw them on the shelves and they're going to fly. So I just don't know why you limit things that you know are going to sell well. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know, whatever. Cool. Well, we got in other toy news. Obviously there was a tease today for new figure Obscura. I'm not going to go into a whole hour's worth of everybody guessing what we're going to find out tomorrow morning anyway. So that's pointless, but
courtesy speculation.
Yeah, I'm not going to do an hour-long speculation on it, but just based on the tease, you guys expect that you're going to be buying it? Is this something that you're excited for?
So what is the speculation right now? Well, as soon as I saw the teaser, I had a thought that came into my mind. I was thinking like a King Tut type of thing, and then I saw somebody, I think in the Cabal, said something about it could be a female figure. And then I was like, I wasn't even thinking that angle,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really dig into those posts. Like, they do the drop and then like everybody's got to post their own thing about what they think it is. And then there's a million things in the chat. I know that there's a lot of folks thinking that it's either some sort of Egyptian god or Egyptian historical figure or something like that. We'll see. I mean, obviously there's some sort of, at least the teaser feels like that it's some sort of Egyptian, theme to it, but we'll find out tomorrow. I'll do what I always do, which is, go in, buy the Allin, and then turn around and go, okay, what did I just buy? and then go back and look again and go, oh, okay, this is cool. And then when the next sale drops, probably pick up 2 more. So, yeah, we'll see. But the other thing is, I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't necessarily know about an Egyptian god because when they did the Scarabus for Gothotropolis, they had several that were the Egyptian godheads, and the Horsemen tend to not want to do things that they've done already, in previous lines. So I mean, I have no idea. I'm terrible at guessing, but there's a Thoth, Anubis, and a Ra that I can see just from where I'm sitting. So I'm thinking that they probably won't do any of those. Could be like I think Sebek was the one with the alligator head, but I'm expecting more, maybe like a mummy. And I think a mummy would be awesome with a full loadout. Like,
if it's going to be a mummy, it's going to be a named something. It's not going to just be mummy. They've been pretty clear about that they're not going to do just a generic whatever. It's going to have to be something that's like a named character.
Like a King Tut with the coffin, and that would be cool because they do a lot of new Dio pieces, to come with the figure of Obscuras now. A Cleopatra would be really cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out those gods.
Get a Mark Antony down the line. So
maybe they've done it before in the other line, but this figure Obscura is its own thing, and they've got a whole different audience that wasn't around for those periods. And this figure Obscura has become kind of one of the main new entries for customizer or for collectors. Sorry. The kind of the same thing that Motu tributes were doing, Figure Obscura is doing at this point. So if they can reach out to somebody, with an Egyptian god type figure, I wouldn't put them past them to do it, even if they've already done a version of it in another line before. So basically, I'm
just mean if they do an Egyptian god, I don't think that it'll be one of the ones that they've done already. Just my opinion. I might be wrong. I said I'm bad at guessing, but you don't have to poop on my opinion, Chris.
No. Your opinion could be right, but it also could be wrong. It could be.
It's most likely wrong, but
it could be the gods they did before. The reason they did it is because Eric really liked those gods, and maybe has a feeling that he wants to do it again now that he has access to better tooling and 3D sculpting and all kinds of other stuff. So I mean, he's done a lot of.
I was an absolute pest in chats that with Eric Treadaway bringing up Seventh Kingdom, hoping for homage figures to Seventh Kingdom, and Eric and Cornboy both shot those down hard and heavy, saying that they don't want to move backwards, they want to move forwards. That's the only reason that I'm thinking it won't be one that they've done before. But again, I could be wrong. I would be happy if they did. The Scarabus figures are freaking
I would
sweet.
too, because then I could shove it in your face.
I hope you're talking about the figure.
No, you may be right. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow.
I don't know either.
I think it's going to be awesome either way. We'll see what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Ryan, Chris, you guys.
There hasn't been a bad figure Obscura yet. Why they would start now, I don't know.
True.
I got a question for you guys. So the Four Horsemen are going to be at a relatively small show, not that far from me tomorrow. And do you think that would be something that they would do? They would bring what they dropped that morning to the show. I think that would be super cool.
Is that Shop the Curiosity?
Yep. It's in Danbury, Connecticut. That's a little less than an hour away from me.
It was in their post. There actually will be some there.
Oh, that's cool.
Really cool.
I got some friends going.
Yeah, it was in one of Jeremy's posts. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, I figured they would at least have like one of them open for people to look at, but I didn't know they'd have them for sale. That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah. It was actually in one of the posts that it would be. They'd have some of that stock at Shop the Curiosity.
Well, and the other thing that I would throw out there too, with the whole like it could be anything or whatever. Is that we don't know that it's one figure. I mean, they kind of surprised us when they did the Headless Horseman, and it was a figure and a horse, and the price tag was a little bit more than just a regular figure. There's nothing to say that this is just a figure. It could be a figure and a mount, could be two figures, could be, whatever.
If we're just opening the doors,
it could be a speedboat,
opening the barn doors and let all the horses out of the barn. I'm saying I want a Brendan Fraser from the Mummy figure.
Nice.
Done by Eric Treadaway. That would be, I'd be really happy. So
yeah, I could definitely see that.
I could see NECA doing that.
Yeah, as long as you don't bring The Rock into it, because that's when they started ruining those movies. So
right.
Yeah.
Even though Eric Treadaway's take on like a Scorpion Man figure, I would love to see that. Not necessarily the Scorpion King exactly, but just like a Scorpion Centaur would be dope.
Cool.
No, I don't think that's what it is. Just it would be really cool.
So Chris, Ryan, sorry, tried this a couple times, but are you guys planning to buy this tomorrow?
You can go first.
I'm always, I got to see what it is before I commit to anything. So,
oh man, the old look at it first, huh?
Yeah.
You gotta go blind, man. All right,
just gonna buy it.
Yep, Sam.
They haven't steered me wrong so far, so
yeah,
I can't imagine.
There's not been one figure obscura that I was like, that's not my cup of tea. So. What about, do you guys do the all-ins? Have you guys been collecting like the pens and cups and all that kind of stuff?
Actually, I only got lucky once. Every other time, I've just been a hair too slow.
Mm.
I'm good with the figure. I mean, having the mug and the pins would be cool, but just to get the figure is the main part for me.
Yeah, I've got one of the mugs. I think it's the Krampus one that I use for my paint water.
Yep.
And then I think all the rest of them are up in the cabinet, but I've got all the pins on the board here next to me. So yeah, I'll definitely be trying for the All-In tomorrow. And who knows? I mean, they've done a couple different, like the mugs. They've done the metal ones, and then the actual coffee mugs, and then they did was it Monkey King that they did like kind of like a water bottle type thing,
Tumbler.
Tumbler, yeah,
like a tumbler.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm guessing that there's definitely going to be a pen, but whether there's going to be a cup or what kind of cup, who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely all in first, and then see what it is. And I look forward to seeing Dork Layer's thing afterwards, like just kind of breaking it down and taking all the stuff apart and popping swaps and all that kind of stuff. It'll be fun. So
I love that it is
Oh, yeah.
an event.
oh yeah,
Basically all morning. It's the best part about it.
I mean, there's going to be some people in there poo-pooing no matter what it is, like, because it's not whatever they wanted, but
yeah,
it is what it is. So
life
all
goes
right.
on.
Yeah. So I guess it's time for us to get to our main discussion, which is unhappy endings. So this is where Joe gives me a massage, and at the end, no, sorry, that's not it. No, we're talking about TV shows, books, movies, video games, anything that you have solidly enjoyed, but then the ending of it ruined it for you, and you just can't do it. So I didn't collect ideas from you guys. I don't have a slideshow or whatever, so I figured we would just kind of like round robin this until we're out.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and start it, and then we'll go Ryan, and we'll just kind of wrap around. So I'm going to start with a movie, and I'm going to do the first one that came to my mind, and that's Full Metal Jacket. Like, I love the first half of Full Metal Jacket. Like, absolutely love it. The whole boot camp thing is great. And then once they go off to war, like it's like two completely separate movies. Like the whole vibe, the I don't know, the whole atmosphere, everything changes, and I hate the second half of the movie. I've probably watched the first half a good 20 times, and I think I've only watched the full movie maybe twice. Because I just turn it off now after the first half. It's just, yeah, I just can't do it. So that's mine. I don't know. You guys, any thoughts on that one? You guys Full Metal Jacket fans?
I didn't know they stack shit that high, Curtis.
Exactly. All right.
I didn't have a problem with that movie just because with war movies, I go in expecting that kind of a movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought, but I totally get it. I don't know. I like movies that make me feel good. So generally tend to, at this point in my life, avoid war movies. They rarely have a happy ending unless it's like an action movie version. But yeah, I could totally see that though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to a war movie, but it feels like two completely separate movies. Like it feels like the first half is like there's just one whole vibe to it, and then the second half is a completely different vibe, which I guess is kind of the point. Like, when you ended up going to war, like it was serious shit, and it wasn't fun. So I get that. But as a movie going person experience, like, it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm getting into this, and this is fun. He's cracking jokes and blah, 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 blah. And then you got the whole thing with Pyle. And then after that, it's just, you know, like if it just ended there with the whole pile scene and everything, like I think that would be okay. But then it just, for me, it's just downhill. So,
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, your turn. What you got?
So someone said it, that Game of Thrones would have been too easy.
Yep.
For me, it was honestly, I'm gonna say Wonder Woman, the first one.
Okay.
I felt like it was a great movie up and like, especially the no man's land scene. I love that.
Mhm.
And then towards the end, when you find out like that he's Jesus, I forget the god's name, the god of Ares.
Mhm.
Aries.
Kind of fell apart for me at the end there. It just, I don't know, something about it just didn't feel right.
Just because he like turned out to be just like some old dude.
Yeah, that I was like, oh, this is trash. I hated it, and I thought it was a great movie up until that point.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
That final fight scene was weak, in my opinion. That was actually one of my complaints with that movie too. Is that instead of just getting a huge dude and have them just fist fight it out, they went so heavy on the special effects that I felt like it ruined the final fight. So
Well,
yeah,
that's what Wonder Woman is. She's a powerhouse. You want to see her throw down with like Doomsday or Darkseid or something like that, and then it's just you get some douchebag who was hiding the entire time.
That whole Snyderverse, like DC universe, the CGI was so fucking terrible. Like in all of it, like there's not a single one of those movies where I'm like, oh yeah, they nailed that CGI. Like it was just bad. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you watch that fight scene, and even if you're trying to enjoy it, it's like it's so phony looking with the CGI that it's pretty rough. So I got it. That wasn't on my list, but I like that one. Chris, what do you got?
All right. So this movie's 22 years old or so. Remember the movie Signs?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? I remember I was like, oh, this is a great movie. I was definitely spooked by it, right? And then it seemed like it was like, oh shit, we need to end this movie in three seconds, right? All of a sudden they're like, oh, the sun came up. Oh, the aliens didn't realize that they're allergic to water, right? Like, I mean, these are things that traveled across the universe, and they didn't know that our planet had water and that it was gonna be, detrimental to them. I'm like, they just dumbed down the aliens so much. I'm like, this. That was the only time I walked out of the theater. I'm like, that was the dumbest ending I have ever seen to a movie, and it has stuck in my head for so long that I'm like, it doesn't even make sense. And he gets beat with a baseball bat. This thing flies across the galaxy to come here, and they weren't planning for getting hit with a blunt object. There's so much in the end of that movie. The last, what is it?
Couldn't open a locked door.
Yeah, come on. This is, and they're supposed to be invading and stuff like that. They've got no. Oh my god.
They can build
no locked doors
to get across the universe, but they can't unlock a door.
Yeah, he can't unlock a door, and don't throw a cup of water at him. God forbid he gets splashed with the water on your nightstand. Bogus. Did not like it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it did feel like they tried to just like they painted themselves in a corner and they go, okay, what do we do now? They're allergic to water. Okay. All right. Okay, I get that one. Makes sense. Joe, what do you got for us?
So this is a movie I haven't watched in a long time, but this is the one that the ending truly ruined it for me, and that's Terminator Salvation, the one with Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought it was a really good movie that the ending totally ruined it for me. It was just, I don't know how we are with spoilers, but the main character ends up being a Terminator at the end, and there's like a blood transfusion or something. It's a little fuzzy now, but like the whole movie is a really solid movie, and then it's like they're just like, we should throw a twist in here. And it just totally fell apart. And I was really, really upset because I enjoyed the movie up to that point.
Yeah.
And then when the movie was over, I'm just like, because it was a good movie with just a really shitty ending.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with anything you said. So I don't know, Chris, Ryan, you got anything on that one?
I don't remember that movie that well. So that's another gauge for me, right? Is if it doesn't even stick, like.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I'll go the next one, and I'm gonna go another movie. And I'm gonna go with Hancock. I really enjoyed that movie up until they reveal that the chick has superpowers too, and that whole thing, and then the fight scene between them, and then the whole thing at the hospital, like just the movie part with Hancock, and he's a human being, so he's got superpowers, but he also has all these flaws, and then he tries to redeem himself and become a better person and become the kind of prototypical superhero. Like, I felt like that in itself was enough to have a good movie, and I really did enjoy it up until that part where they kind of identify that his friend's wife also has superpowers, and they're like lovers from the past, and it was like this whole weird thing. It was just, I don't know, it just really threw it for a weird loop, and I didn't like it at all. I felt like they had enough with just his personality and trying to be this kind of flawed person, trying to be a good person, that was enough in itself. But I don't know, they tried to throw this other stuff in there, and it didn't work for me. So anybody?
Yeah,
No.
agreed.
Oh,
It took the tone of the movie and just like completely changed the tone of what the movie was up to that point.
Yeah.
Again, it feels like they're like, aha, we got to throw a twist in there to surprise the audience. And it's like, sometimes that's not an improvement. I would have rather seen him fight a superpowered villain at the end than have a slap fight with no powers, I don't.
And I didn't even need it to be a super villain. Like it could have just been, him dealing with, his own demons, that he's struggling with. Like, I feel like that's enough. But yeah, it's like they felt like they needed this like really cool action stuff at the end, and I don't know, it just didn't work for me. So Ryan, what you got?
I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's I believe it's called The Visit, with the kids going to see their grandparents. But it turns out that it's not their grandparents. These two crazy old people killed their grandparents, and then they inhabit their, it's like their farmhouse, and all this creepy shit is happening. And then like it got really tense, and then you find out that it's not their grandparents, and the kids have to get away. But then it got really goofy. Like the one crazy old dude, he would shit himself and he would hide his shitty diapers, and he was torturing the little kid, and he's holding a shotgun to him, and he's like, oh, I just shit myself, takes his diaper off and then rubs it in his face. Like it was tense, and then it just got really fucking goofy. I don't,
All right.
no one's seen that movie?
I've not seen it, and you definitely didn't sell me on it.
Well, you don't.
Put all the M. Night Shyamalan movies on here, right? Because I think Signs was by him too, right? And then
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
what was the other one too that had a funky ending with the, it was, they were trying to scare this village of people. Yeah. Was it
The Village?
Yeah, The Village.
It was The
Yeah.
Village.
Yeah, The Village. What was the one with Mark Wahlberg? That one too, when the twist was that like plants just decided they didn't like humans anymore. The Happening. That one, the ending was kind of weak too.
Yeah.
They're like, plants just decided they didn't like people, so they're making us kill ourselves. And it's like, what? That doesn't even make any sense.
But then
Oh,
he does
His
movies like
movies aren't bad, but
What's that,
like
Ryan?
I like
Mhm.
Split with the
Oh, yeah.
like that. I thought that was a great movie.
McAvoy.
Just
Yeah.
his performance, but
Oh, he was so
I
fucking
guess you
good
got
in
to
that.
take the good with the bad. I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
that one.
Invincible?
That
Was
one
that the
had
one with
the
Bruce
ending of that one was
Willis?
really good. I think it made the movie
Yeah.
Mhm.
because the movie was
Yeah.
good until then, but then the ending was like, oh shit! Like it's not. He's not just a crazy dude with all these personalities. Like there's something fucking else going on here, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
So he had some good ones, and then some ones that are
Real stinkers. Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
that's being polite about it. Shit.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what
Right.
do you got?
All right, so I got a TV series,
Okay.
and I'm sure we've all seen the TV series. Seinfeld. Love Seinfeld. I will watch every episode
Yeah.
over and over, except for the last two episodes. They are the worst episodes of the entire series. It was a show about nothing, except the last two episodes were about something, and that something sucked. You know, and I really believe that they were looking for a way to include all the tertiary characters, so that way they could get in on 2 more royalty checks. It's the only way that it really makes sense. And if you listen to interviews with Spike Feresten and Jerry Seinfeld and Larry David, like that's how those guys work. We'll get them another payment, you know. But
Yeah.
I felt like the way it ended, you know, I just, oh man, it turned me off. I remember as a kid watching that with my grandmother, and I'm like, is that it? Like that's how they're ending this? Like they're going to jail? Like that's it? And I remember being like, this is crap. You know, I would have rather they just had 2 more regular episodes and then just stopped airing the show. You know.
I kind of thought this one was going to come up on somebody's list, and I think it's a popular choice.
Mm.
I actually didn't mind it. Like I didn't love the last couple episodes. It's not like I was like, oh, these are the best episodes they've done. But
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. Like I thought the callbacks were kind of cute. You know, it was fun to kind of just reminisce on a few different things throughout the series. Yeah, I mean, it didn't bother me as much as it does some people, but I could see, you know, not liking it. Like compared to all the other episodes, it definitely is weaker than most of those. So
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from.
It just what was it, the season finale or series finale for Curb? You know, they kind of poked fun at it, like, yeah, I wouldn't do it that way again. You know,
Yeah.
So I think if they could go back and redo it, they would definitely change it. You know, but yeah, that was one of the first series that ended where it was like, oh, this is crap.
Yeah. Joe, you're up.
So for this one, I'm going with a movie that I actually like, but the ending, I don't want to say the ending ruined it, but I had to, after the ending, I actually had to sit there and be like, did I like this movie? And that's Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth had such a messed up story. And then when the ending doesn't actually like solidify anything that happened, you know, if the little girl is actually fantasizing or if all that weird shit was real, it was like, man, a lot of really messed up stuff happened, and it might have all just been legitimate. I don't know. I had to sit there for a while and be like, did I like this movie? I'm not sure. Because I liked it up to that point.
Yeah.
But when the ending hit, I was just like, yeah. So that was a strong one for me that stood out, where the ending could have been a little more decisive and give us a little bit of closure on that little girl's horrible, horrible life.
Yeah. All right. Well, the chat actually just brought up what I was going to talk about, which is the TV series Lost. So,
yeah.
I mean, early on, I love that show. Like, I was enthralled with that show. Like so much so that like just waiting for each episode, like waiting for the next week to come, and what other mysteries are going to be on uncovered, and all these things, and then to get to the end and get the ending that we got, which kind of negated the whole series that we watched. It was just, I don't know. It's like the whole, it was a dream the whole time kind of thing. It's like, it's such a cheap way to finish up the series that makes you feel like you wasted your time watching the whole rest of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it up until, really the second part of the last season. And then it was like, man, this is not good. Like they just, it really felt like, I know you were talking about the movie earlier, Chris, where you're like, it felt like they got to the end or like had to rush the ending.
Yeah.
I felt like with this one, like they just got fucking bored. Like it felt like they got to a point where they're just like, we don't really feel like writing this anymore. We're just gonna fucking end this. It's kind of how it seemed. There was just not a lot of heart or anything at the end. It was just, I don't know. I hated it because I was so excited about that series, and for it to end the way that it did was pretty rough. So
yeah, I never got into that show. I remember hearing a lot of people didn't like it.
It's one of those that the ending is so bad. Even though I loved the most of the series, I can't go back and watch it because I know that the ending negates everything and like just totally fucking wipes out everything that you just watched. So yeah, it's just not good.
Was that show? That was one of the shows that was like the writer strike had a big hit on it, right?
I'm not sure.
Like Lost and Heroes were out around the same time.
Oh yeah.
Like got shut down because of the writer strike.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well,
I haven't watched either show, but I feel like I've heard people talk about that. Like they weren't the same after the writer's strike.
Well, Trevor says Lost was a total waste of time. And it's true because like they kept teasing these things. Like there was some big giant mystery to solve. And like you felt like you were working towards this big giant mystery. And then it's like none of this fucking mattered. Like, it's like all the hours that you spent watching this and all the hours you spent waiting for the next episode to come up and speculating with your friends on what was happening.
Yeah.
It was all fucking wasted. So, and you're right about Heroes, Joe. Like I love the first two seasons. And then after that, it was like, yeah. So, and then they tried to come back with it and it was not the same. Like, did you watch it when they came back?
I actually didn't watch it. That was just something that stuck in my head that I'd heard people talk about.
Yeah, it wasn't the same when it came back. So it had a lot of potential, but it didn't land.
It was really super popular, and then it came back and like it seemed like it was just dead.
Especially the first season. The first season was amazing. Anyway. Ryan, what you got for us?
So I have a TV show, and it is Smallville.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So the ending, I think it was just bad because it was rushed. But you're going to tell me that the budding Superman is just going to beat Darkseid by just flying through him, and then he pushes a fucking planet away, and boom, that's it. Like all hell was breaking loose on Earth, and he just pushes the planet away. Oh, and everybody stops being crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, the other thing is that Tom Welling didn't even like put on the suit. Like they basically like superimposed his head on Brandon Routh's body from that terrible Superman movie, and did that. It was just not like we waited this whole time to get to him to the point where he's actually becoming Superman, and it just it didn't land. It didn't pay off. So
like even when they did Doomsday, like they had a guy who was just big as shit. They painted him up like Doomsday. They put the spikes on him, gave him the suit, and he just spears him into a nuclear reactor, and Doomsday is done.
Yeah, like he had more struggles going up the against the random teenagers that got infected by kryptonite than than yeah. So
ass backwards.
Whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that one, but that's a good one. So, all right, Chris, we're back around to you. You got another one?
Oh yeah. So this is a movie, and this is a movie from my childhood. And I would say this pivotal moment happens in the beginning to middle of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But from the eyes of a child, as the movie starts to wrap, you're like, wait a minute, he's still dead. When they killed Optimus Prime in the Transformers movie in '86, and they finished that movie without bringing Optimus back, as a kid, I remember leaving the movie theater like, no. Like, I was waiting the whole time. I'm waiting. Okay, we got this Rodimus Prime guy. Oh, we're going to have this Optimus too. And no, Optimus is gone. He's dead. And so are all your other favorite Autobots from the cartoon. They're all dead. And now you got this new group of guys. That bugged me as a kid.
Chris, I know I made fun of at the beginning of the show that the song says every Friday night, and Dooch and Sean and Jesse will be here, and they're not here. I really wish they were here to hear you say that, because I give them shit all the time about the Transformers movie because they absolutely dig it. They love it. They, love all the songs. They love everything with it. And I'm like, it was a big fucking commercial. They wanted to sell more new toys, so they killed off all the fucking characters that we cared about and gave us all new characters so that they could sell us toys to. And that's all it was. It was a giant commercial.
Yep.
Were some of the tunes catchy? Yeah, some of the tunes were catchy. But you kill off Optimus, and then you take Hot Rod was actually a cool character. Like, just sell me that. Sell me the sports car, and then you turn him into this station wagon fucking SUV.
Yeah.
Whatever, Winnebago. What the fuck is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just terrible.
I didn't like Rodimus as much once I saw the movie, because I'm like, oh, they're trying to force this on me as the new Optimus. And Optimus was the man when you're growing up, right? And I will tell you, me and my little group of friends, that was the end of Transformers for us as a kid.
Same. I was done after that. Yep. I maybe could have got by if they transferred it from Optimus to Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
But acting like he wasn't worthy enough and then going to Hot Rod was like, nah. And then you take all the jets, like Starscream and all that. Like, you kill Starscream, which is my favorite fucking villain.
Yep.
Maybe of all time, definitely one of my favorites of all time. You kill him off, you take all the other jets and you turn them in these weird fucking spaceships so you could sell us new toys. You turn Megatron into Galvatron, you do all this, just a huge commercial for new toys, and I absolutely can't stand it. But like I said, I wish those other three were here to hear you say that, because they just, man, they love it. So.
It's funny how you say you wish they kind of moved it on with Ultra Magnus taking over as Optimus, right? When I was a kid, we didn't have any of the comic books. The cartoon randomly came on, different points throughout the week. We were convinced that Optimus and Ultra Magnus were brothers just because they looked alike, right?
Yeah.
So that would have probably been okay by us, because we're like, all right, it's his brother, same family. But the way they just slaughtered all those guys, and there are people who love it, and they sell toys of dead Optimus. Who wants that? Nobody, not me. I hate that.
I mean, and here's the thing: Transformers is one of those lines that they've done over and over and over. As far as toys, they've redone them and they bring them back, and they do the G1 reissues, and they make it in all these different, and then they have the knockoffs and everything. Do you ever hear of anybody fucking wanting a Galvatron figure or one of those jets after they transformed and stuff? Nobody cares about that shit. Nobody wants a Rodimus Prime. figure. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the Optimus. They want Megatron. They want the original. So like that's where the nostalgia is, and like you killed that. Like early on in the line, like that wasn't terribly long into that line before that movie came out, and you just totally destroyed it because you wanted to put out a new wave of figures.
Yeah, 2-3 years in, and you kill the face of your franchise. So, yeah, that's my pick.
That's a good one because I mean it's not really the end of the movie, but you're right. It is a pivotal moment where it's like, and the fact that they didn't rectify it. I mean, they did later on because they realized they screwed up and they tried to bring him back. But at that point, most people were already gone. They're like, no, I'm done. So.
Well, that's why I call it the end, because as a kid, you know, my mom and my sister are sitting next to me and we're like waiting. Okay, here comes where they make everything better, and Optimus and his friends are back, and it just never came. Like, you know, I'm like, hang on, they got to bring him back after the credits. Hang on. Never came.
Yep. I'm going to actually take a clip of this and I'm going to send it to Sean and Dooch and Jesse and make them watch it later. So.
Great songs in that movie, though.
Oh, yeah. Soundtrack's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'll give it. Joe, you got another one for us?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a video game this time.
Okay.
And it's actually one of my favorite video games. Dead Space.
Okay.
Dead Space is an amazing video game, space horror video game. And there is, you know, the ending, and then there's the if you beat it on the hardest difficulty special ending. And the game was revolutionary when it came out. It's horrifying. The monsters, if they kill your character, that was like the main selling point, was that the monsters kill you in horrific ways, and the variety of horrific ways that you die is amazing. They put a lot of work into that. But the whole game, he's trying to save his wife, who's on a spaceship that's infected with these monsters that people turn into. And even the chapter names, as you go through the chapter names, it ends up spelling out that she's dead. That the first letter of each chapter name spells out that she's dead.
Oh, nice.
Then Isaac, the main character, is the sole survivor. The last couple people that are alive get killed off in pretty horrific ways. And then the super hard secret ending, he gets on the ship and he's flying away, and his wife is sitting next to him after, I don't know, he finds out that she committed suicide like before he even got there. And it was one of those ones where it's like, I worked really hard to get to this point for you guys to just shit on the whole story of the game, you know? And I know it's maybe it's not really her, or he's hallucinating or whatever, but I just thought that was for a game that like every aspect of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
And the point of the game is that his wife is dead and he doesn't realize it until the very ending. And then just to have her like on the ship with him at the end, I was just like, it just, you know. So it's an awesome game.
Yeah.
Amazing. But the ending was, I don't know. The problem was it was the super special ending that I felt like crap on the storyline, which it should have been the opposite, you know, to me anyways. So,
well, I'm gonna try to
Space
top
fans
that.
Here.
No, I'd never played that. You guys played that?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
And we definitely won't now.
Okay. Well, don't play on the hardest difficulty.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can top you on that one. Do you guys? I don't know if you saw or remember the movie The Mist. Kind of what Ryan just did into the camera there.
Yes.
You guys,
yeah.
Was that
Stephen King?
MYST the way it was written?
I believe it was just MIST.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Stephen King book. They made it into a movie, and it's kind of this monster movie type thing. The mist rolls in, and there's like things within the mist that are killing people and all this kind of stuff. And you go through the movie. The movie's actually very good. And then at the very end, I'm going to ruin it for anybody that doesn't want to listen. I guess turn it off or whatever. But very end of the movie, like he decides to kill his son so he doesn't have to like die by the hands of these monsters or whatever. And so he goes to shoot his son who was asleep, but his son wakes up right before he does it. So you realize that the son sees his dad kill him.
Ooh.
And then like 30 seconds later, like these tanks roll up and stuff and they're saved. And he just killed his son for nothing.
Mm.
Oh shit.
So yeah, totally fucked up. Like it's like,
Mm.
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, really, like,
Mm.
this guy gets this very tough decision to do to try to, you know, save his son some pain, and then, yeah, like, come on, like that's fucking rough, man. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I call fucked up, actually.
Yeah.
So, all right, Ryan.
Yeah,
your turn.
That's a good pick.
I'm actually at a loss.
Okay.
So I will say this is probably my last one. It's another superhero show on the CW. I'll say Arrow. I feel like they were building towards his daughter being Arrow, and they gave it to you, and then honestly, it's only an unhappy ending because nothing came of it.
Yeah, I think that whole like last season was shit. It was terrible. Yeah. Like the fact that his son grows up to be this total fucking wuss and like he dies, and it's like, yeah, it's just, I really enjoyed that series, but that last season was fucking garbage. So
it was weak.
It was bad.
Really weak.
It was bad. I'm with you on that one for sure. Chris, you got another one?
Yeah, this is the last one that I had picked out. Okay. So another TV series, right? This was a popular one on HBO. This was the first TV series I really got into as a young adult, where I had to watch it every Sunday night. I'm talking about Sopranos, right? I don't know. Anybody watch Sopranos series?
Oh yeah.
And to me, you know, when it just goes black, right? I'm like, holy shit, we lost our cable. Like the cable went out. Like
I think a bunch of people thought that. Yeah.
And like to end it like that, to me, that is the biggest fence riding bullshit. Because I'm okay if you pick a path, right? If I don't like the path, that's one thing, right? But at least pick a path of how it ends, right? Like we've been watching this series. It was like 7 or 8 seasons, right? We've been watching all along. I feel like we deserved to sort of see. If they're going to take them out, we deserve to see it. You know, we deserve to have a little taste of that.
You know, whatever. But yeah, just
like
one way or another, like show the ending. Don't just go to a black screen. That is just like a cheap fucking way to write off the end of the series. It's
yeah. David Chase, he should have really picked an avenue, and he didn't, because he wanted to leave it open if they got movie rights and this and that. And then James Gandolfini ended up dying at a very young age, and that, although didn't they come out with or they were going to come out with one where AJ the son picks it up? I don't know. I
don't know if they did or not.
But yeah, that one, I remember being in my apartment with my wife, and the two of us hop up, go run over to the cable box because we're like, oh shit, like got to get it back on. I thought the cat stepped on the remote. I'm like, what the hell happened? You know. So that was, to me, that was a really bad ending. I saved that one for last because that might have been the worst.
I just watched that too, the whole series, and I had no idea what everybody was talking about with the cut to black, and I was like, oh, I still got a couple minutes left. I was like, it's gonna end after this, and then they're just sitting at the diner, and boom, it's like, what the fuck?
I tell you what, though, like, because I did the same thing as you, Ryan. I like watched it after everything. Like, I didn't watch it while the series was going. I watched it afterwards. So knowing that that's coming up, actually makes it a little bit better because like you can kind of prepare for it. Like same thing. Like I didn't watch any of the Game of Thrones while it was going on, but I binge watched it after it was done. And hearing everybody bitch about the last season, like I knew going into last season it was going to be fucking terrible, and it was, but it wasn't as bad because I knew it going in. So yeah, but I hear you. It's definitely not good. So
I could see if you know how it's going to end, I could see you liking it more, because at the time it was just such a surprise,
yeah, I wouldn't say that I like it, but I wasn't as upset, I think, is because the thing is, like if you're going through it real time, right, when it happens, and then you go to work and other people experience the same bullshit ending, and like you're all talking about it, and like you're kind of enraging each other, like you got, but if you go to somebody like 5 years after it ends and you're like, hey, I just watched the season ending of Sopranos last night, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Yeah, that was like 5 years ago. So anyway, Joe, you got another one for us?
Yes, I do. Another video game, and this one wasn't just me. The Mass Effect trilogy.
Okay.
So the Mass Effect trilogy is probably some of the best video games ever made. It's a space opera-ish type, and you play through 3 games. The lead writer quit before the end of the 3rd game, and they just throw together this dumpster fire of an ending for a trilogy of role-playing games that is so bad. You just don't know what happens to anyone. Like you spend 3 games on this adventure with people that you actually really care about them, and then they don't even tell you what happens in the ending. The ending was so bad that the company remade the ending and released it as a free DLC because people hated the ending that much. It was like a bad ending of epic proportions, and their remake of the bad ending wasn't that good. It adds a little bit but to it, but it's so bad. Like it's just not a good ending. You love these characters, and it's not a good ending. So they just recently teased that they're coming out with a 4th game. So I think they're going to give it another shot and make another game and probably try and do a better ending. But yeah, that was one of the most amazing video game trilogies of all time that got the unhappy ending in a lot of people's opinion, including mine. That's a whole lot of work for a poopy ending.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you were talking about earlier with the writer's strike. Like, if you have a change in creative, like that can definitely, screw something up. So
it was so super obvious. Sorry, what's that?
I was agreeing with Curtis. Anytime there's a change with a writer or the actor, it can tank it so fast. You know?
Yep. All right. Well, I've got one more, and then I'll turn it to you if you got one more, Joe, in the tank.
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay, I got one more, and then I'll turn it over to Joe for the last one. And mine's probably not going to be very popular because most people I know love this movie, and I did too, except for the fucking ending. I think the ending's terrible, and that's Dark Knight. With Heath Ledger and Christian Bale, and like amazing performance by Heath Ledger. The movie is great. The whole ending where all of a sudden Batman's got to be the bad guy so that people don't know that Harvey Dent went bad. Like the whole, hero we need and all that kind of like just such bullshit. Like as if Gotham wasn't going to do that Harvey Dent turned into a bad guy. Like they could just as easily rally around Batman, but instead like, oh, well, now all of a sudden we're going to make Batman the bad guy. Why? There's no reason to do that. Like, it's such hogwash. And I think it's just, it's just a shitty way to end that film. And I don't think it was necessary. So for me,
especially since it didn't have a lot of relevance in the sequel too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't like that ending at all. I usually stop after the whole, like they've got the boat scene, and then he counters Joker in that that construction building and stuff, and then after that I usually stop watching the movie, because the whole thing with Two-Face and the ending and talking to Gordon, it's just I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. So that's mine. That's my last one. Any thoughts on that one? Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy, because I had one that I was thinking about including. It's another Nolan movie, so it was Dark Knight Rises, when they show Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and you're like, oh, he's going to pick up the mantle as Batman, and then nothing ever happens with it. Like, I feel like they could have totally left that out, and the movie would have ended probably more complete for me.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on yours, Curtis.
Cool. All right, Joe, you got the last one. Bring us home.
Yeah, this one might be a little obscure. Has anybody seen The Orphanage?
I don't think so.
No.
So it's a Spanish movie. You've got to read it, like from Spain, Spanish,
Gotcha.
with subtitles and everything. But it's a fantastic movie. I thought it was a horror movie when I started watching it, because if you watch the trailer, it is very much has that vibe of a horror movie, and I guess you could call it like a suspense movie, because holy cow, that movie is intense. There was even one part where I had to pause it for a minute and be like, okay, because my heart was racing. Like, it's a really intense movie.
Yeah.
And it's got this little kid with like a burlap sack over his head, and you can see one eye through the hole, and it's like parts of it are terrifying. And then the ending, and I won't spoil it because I actually recommend anybody to watch it, but the ending is stupid sad. It is so sad that it was another one of those movies that I had to sit there and be like, did I like this movie? I'm not sure. Like the movie is so good and so intense all the way through. I would put it in the same class as like Event Horizon, as far as like keeping that tension up throughout the whole movie. And I loved that aspect of it, but it definitely doesn't have like a horror movie ending. It is so stupid sad that it took me a few days before I was like, okay, I actually like that movie, but I had trouble deciding because it was such a sad ending.
I'm gonna ask you, Joe, because I've gotten Jesse told me no, but is Event Horizon worth watching? Should I watch Event Horizon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because Jesse told me no.
It's actually a really so it's actually a really good movie. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
But what I think makes Event Horizon special is the tension through the whole movie. Like the movie doesn't really let you relax. A lot of movies, like let's take like Alien, for example, the original Alien movie.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of tension in that, but then the monster would kill somebody and you get that feeling like you can take a breath, like nobody's going to die for a little while, and you relax. Event Horizon has that wonderful constant tension of like, holy shit, what's happening through the whole thing. I think it's a fantastic movie myself.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
One of my favorites.
Okay.
I second that.
I'm curious to see what you think.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
I genuinely enjoy that movie. Yeah.
Well, before we end, I'll throw it out to the chat. If anybody has any, I've seen some. We've covered a lot of the ones that I saw coming up. But if anybody has any other ones they want to throw out there, go ahead and throw that out in chat. Guys, do you have any other ones that were kind of on your list that we didn't get to that you wanted to mention?
Anybody watch House of Cards?
I did until they wrote off Kevin Spacey, and then I stopped watching.
That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah,
they should have just ended it. Yeah,
yeah, and I get, I mean, I get it. And with what was going on at the time, like you couldn't just continue as is. I get that, but it's just not the same. Like his character was that show. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I will look to see if anything comes up in chat, but I haven't seen anything else. So we are getting ready to do this week in theaters. So let me share my screen. We'll pull up the random number generator. All right. And we're spinning between 1982 and 2010. And we have 2000. So here we go. Once again, we are going back to the year 2000. This is not us at the age that we were at in 2000. This is us now at our current ages, traveling back in time. We walk into a movie theater. We have to watch one movie, and we will get to decide what we're watching out of the top 10 that were available for this week. So this is 2000. And we're looking for Maytober 17th. So right here. All right, here's what we got. Starting off, we've got Gladiator, number 1.
Such a good movie.
Former Roman general sets out to exact vengeance against his corrupt emperor who murdered his family and sent him into slavery. Next, we've got Battlefield Earth. It's the year 3000 AD, and Earth is lost to an alien race of Cyclos. Humanity is enslaved by these gold-thirsty tyrants who are unaware that their man-animals are about to ignite the rebellion of a lifetime. Then we've got U-571. German submarine is boarded by disguised American submariners trying to capture their Enigma cipher machine. Next, we've got Frequency. An accidental cross-time radio link connects father and son across 30 years. The son tries to save the father's life, but then must fix the consequences. Then we've got Center Stage at number 5. Group of teenagers from various backgrounds enroll in American Ballet Academy in New York to make it as ballet dancers. And each one deals with the problems and stress of training and getting ahead in the world of dance. I think I know what Jesse would be watching. Next, we've got Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas. This live-action prequel to the Flintstones. The Flintstones and Rubbles go on a trip to Rock Vegas, where Wilma Slag Hoople is pursued by Playboy Chip Rockefeller. Then we have got Where the Heart Is.
That was number 6.
Yeah. Number 7 is Where the Heart Is. Pregnant 17-year-old rebuilds her life after being abandoned by her boyfriend at a Walmart in Sequoia. That one. Sequoia, Oklahoma. You know, who hasn't seen that played out? Next, we've got Screwed. A chauffeur kidnaps his rich boss's dog and to hold it for ransom. But when she accidentally gets the dog back, she thinks it's the chauffeur who's been kidnapped. Okay. Next, we've got Keeping the Faith. 2 friends, a priest and a rabbi, fall in love. Sounds like the beginning of a joke. 2 priests, friends, a priest and a rabbi, fall in love with the same woman they knew in their youth, but religious position of both men denies them romance. And last, number 10, we've got Love and Basketball. Monica and Quincy love and play basketball together through many life challenges from childhood to adulthood. So there you go. That's our top 10. We're going to start at the bottom with Joe. Joe, what are you seeing?
I feel like this might be the worst one that we've done so far, at least that I've been a part of.
Yep.
I'm going to go see Gladiator because what else are we going to watch on this list? Yeah, Gladiator for me, just because there's nothing to compete with it on here.
Okay.
In my opinion.
All right. Well, moving on. Chris, what are you going to see?
So I got to give a runners up to U571. So when I was in college, I worked at a Circuit City selling car audio and home audio stuff. And we used to have a demonstration room where we would play U571 over and over and over again because of how good the sound was. So if it was a theater, I mean, the bass sounds with the submarines and stuff like that, it was really impressive. If it was a theater that had amazing sound, I'd be interested in seeing U571, even though I've seen it 10,000 times. But you got to go with Gladiator. Gladiator is just the best movie on this list, in my opinion, by far. And who doesn't tear up at the end when Marcus Aurelius is walking through the fields and sees his wife and son out there? I mean, that's such a good movie.
All right. Rygon?
It's obvious it's Gladiator, just because there really isn't anything else on this list that I would want to see. So that's the logical choice at this point.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about because I am not gonna see any of these other movies because I'm going to Gladiator. Like, yeah, there's nothing there that pulled me in. Like sometimes I'll go, oh, well, I haven't seen that one and it sounds interesting. Frequency, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Battlefield Earth was fucking terrible. I'm not going to go.
Frequency had somebody famous in it, though, right?
I don't know who's in Frequency. It doesn't say on here. We'd have to look it up. So, I mean, it sounds like an interesting concept for a movie.
I mean, I might have seen it at some point. Sounds familiar.
Oh, Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid was.
But I mean,
yeah, Dennis Quaid, Jim Caviezel. So, yeah. I don't know.
It's still,
but yeah, I mean, it's Battlefield Earth was terrible. U571's not bad, but I don't know that if I'm going back in time, if I found a time machine, I go back in time, I go in a movie theater, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go see U571. That's not the movie I'm seeing. Right. So, Flintstones, no, you know, Jesse
Flintstones
definitely
being at 6.
Yeah, Jesse's
like
going to this one,
right?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
so.
Sure. For sure. But
yeah,
Flintstones
number 6.
Being a prequel Flintstones is that number 6.
Live action Flintstones.
I think that's I think that's a tell on how bad this week was.
Yeah. I mean, Gladiator was a good movie anyways, but it's not like it had much competition to be number 1 this week. So right.
You know what I noticed from this though, guys, is there was a point in time, 20 something years ago where there was so much crap that went out there. I mean, this is right at the beginning of like the DVD boom, right? Where people, I mean, I used to buy DVDs of all kinds of crap, right? And most of it was just like, all right, let's put something out there, let's produce it, let's sell it, right? And just to make money for the studios. And I feel like we're steering away from that today. I feel like there is a lot less out there as far as, movies and stuff. I mean, there's other streaming stuff like that, but I feel like the quantity of different things has definitely decreased. And maybe some of that's because of COVID and stuff like that. But
no, I mean, you're totally right. I saw something the other day that said last year, and if you guys didn't see that, there's no way you're going to guess this unless you saw it. Guess who was the number 1 paid actor last year? 2023, what actor made the most money last year?
Including actors and actresses?
Actors, actresses, whatever.
Yep.
If you haven't heard this, you're never going to get it. I can tell you that for sure.
No idea.
Adam Sandler was
Get the
number
fuck
one.
out of here.
He had 0 theatrical releases, but he made $100 million just off of his Netflix deals for the things that he's done with Netflix. That is the day and age that we're living in, that there is more shit going straight to streaming than there is, going into the theaters. I mean, you've got your few big ones that have to hit the theaters, but a lot of stuff is right to a streaming service. And that's really where the money is. And you look at some of the series and stuff like that these streaming services have been doing, and like they've got really good special effects. I mean, we've talked a lot on this channel about we just watched the Fallout series. We watched the Halo series.
The boys.
They do all of these things, and it looks great. It looks fucking fantastic. Like I would put any of those series that we mentioned versus the Zack Snyder fucking DC movies. That's for sure. Yeah, it's the new time that we live in, man. Everybody's got a million streaming services, and they gotta keep you interested, otherwise you're gonna cancel. So they gotta keep putting new shit out there.
Yeah.
So
So true.
Yeah.
There's also the internet being as prevalent. There's a lot more reviews and things like that. I think, like in the 90s up to like 2000, they could sneak bad movies into the theaters and people would just go and see them because, unless you watch Siskel and Ebert, you weren't going to get anybody's opinion on a movie.
Well, and it was just
it's harder to sneak bad movies.
It was the thing to do too, just like going to the theater. Like it was like the experience. And I don't think it really is that for a lot of people anymore. Like you really have to have a reason to make you go out to the theater nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Kevin says it here. Movies have to be an event now. They really do. It has to be like something that makes you want to go and sit with strangers in public to watch this. And I guess that's just the way it is. So I will say, I did see that Madam Web is on Netflix this week, and I checked it out because I pretty much will watch anything as long as I'm not having to pay extra for it. So I already got Netflix and I checked it out, and I gotta say it wasn't that bad. Like I was expecting it to be like the worst movie of all time, based on what I've heard from people. I think it was better than Multiverse of Madness. I think it was better than Love and Thunder. I think it was better than Quantumania. So I don't know. I didn't think it was that terrible. I don't think it's award winning. I don't think it's like the best fucking superhero movie of all time, but I definitely didn't. I think it's worth a watch. If you've got Netflix and you haven't seen it, I think it's worth a watch.
I feel like that movie was killed by the fan base.
Yeah.
So few people went to the theater to see it that the reputation that came out from the few who did tanked it for everybody, right? And when I think of that, I think of Solo. I think Solo was actually a great movie, but everybody was still so pissed off from what happened with Star Wars before that nobody wanted to go see Solo. And I wouldn't be surprised if Madam Web is the same type of thing, where they're like, oh, it's the Sony universe, right? Sony universe. Oh, I don't want to see it because it's the Sony universe.
I will tell you the biggest reason why I didn't go see Madam Web in the theater is because I didn't even fucking know about it until it was already in theaters. Like they did like zero advertising for it. I don't know where they advertised, but it wasn't on anything. Like it wasn't anywhere that I've seen. And like, even like we're in a lot of toy groups and things like that. And you get to know what things are coming up, especially if it's got any sort of comic book basis. Like you get to hear about it. And I didn't know anything about it until it was already in theaters. And then by that point, you're right. All I heard was from everybody that went that it was just absolute garbage. So then it's like, well, I'm definitely not going to go to the theater and see that. I'll wait till it's streaming. But like I said, I didn't think it was that bad. But Brian, you were going to say something.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not the strongest endorsement, but I guess I'll check it out now. But
Yeah.
only because I have Netflix.
Yeah,
But
like I said, if you've got Netflix, you may
Yeah.
as well watch it. It's not a terrible movie.
I think going back to that, what is the last movie that you've seen in theaters? Like that you actually went to go or wanted to?
I think Guardians 3. I don't think I've seen one since then. And I probably won't see one till Deadpool. Like I'm definitely seeing that one in the theater. So
Yeah, last one I saw in the theater was the Super Mario movie with my kids, which was great.
I did see that, but was that before Guardians or after Guardians?
I think it was after.
Okay. Then that might be the last one I saw.
Yeah.
Because I did see that with my kids.
That might have been the last time I was excited.
Joe doesn't go to a lot of movies. His last movie was probably like in 1984.
I went with my kids and what, and I did see Guardians 3 in the theater. Did Spider-Man 3 come out after that one or before the one with the 3 Spider-Mans?
That was before.
We went and watched
Guardians.
that. That was before. It all kind of blends together. It's been a while since I've gone to the theater, but I was pretty big on the Marvel movies, catching those in the theater because my kids wanted to go see them with me. But lately there hasn't been anything that has that big draw like, oh shit, we need to go see this. It's just not, that hasn't been happening.
Got our pal is here, says, was Madam Web worse than Marbles? I don't think so. I think Marbles was worse, in my opinion. Mark says yes, but I don't think so. I think the only thing that saved Marbles is that young gal, the Miss Marvel actress, like she's phenomenal. She carried most of that film. Unfortunately, they didn't make it about her. They made it about mostly about Brie Larson's character, and it just wasn't good. Like there's the one part where they're on that planet where everybody has to sing every conversation that they're having. It's like so fucking dumb. Yeah, that movie was rough for me. I would say Madam Web is better than that in my opinion. So, but
to your point, seen that one. Curtis, there was no Marvel Legends too. Usually any of these, most of the Marvel movies, they're going to have figures that come out with it, right?
Yeah.
No legends for any of those characters.
They had no faith. They knew it was going to be a turd.
I mean, I don't want to ruin the movie, but I mean, I will just say, like, they set Madam Web set up to where there could be potential for future movies. So the payoff wasn't necessarily in that movie. It was kind of like, imagine like a superhero origin tale, but you never get to the superhero part. It was kind of like that, because we like the main characters, we never really got to see them in costume and doing that kind of stuff. It's still an interesting story, but it didn't have that same payoff as like if you watch the first like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and you get to see his origin story, but you also get to see him go into that costume and into that role and face those challenges. This was kind of the lead up, and then it stopped. And I guess it would pick up with the next movie. It really does feel like they set it up for a sequel that I don't think ever is going to happen. But I still think it's a good movie, though. Like I said, I don't think it's brilliant, but I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. So, anywho,
right on. Well, that's good.
Steph says Godzilla. I have heard a lot of people liking that new Godzilla movie that's out. So, and the new Planet of the Apes. I've been hearing good things about that too. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that is. So
I don't think that's a prime time show.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to give you a shrug on that one. So all right. Well, let's see. We got our pickups. We went through our main topic. We did This Week in Theaters. We talked a little bit about.
I want to shout out.
Yeah,
I want to shout out anybody who doesn't follow Emil Wickman on YouTube should.
Mm-hmm.
He put out a song today, a Mythic Legion song, and
Awesome.
I thought it was going to be one of his comedy. I thought it was going to be a comedy song. It is not. It is a genuine good, like Swedish metal homage song to Mythic Legions. Like watch it. It's so good. It's not funny at all. I don't know if he does the vocals or not.
He does.
You can tell that he wrote.
I don't know who does the chorus part, but he definitely does the main vocals. So
the cadence, you can tell that he wrote the song because the cadence of the song is how Emil speaks in English, which is really cool. I think, you can definitely tell that it's him, but it's really good. Check it out.
Yeah, this is what Joe's talking about here. So Mythic Legions Arise, 3.5 minutes. Definitely want to check that out. I would also recommend this one right here. This is actually there's the Swedish version and then there's an English version. This Mauritius Treasure is such just a heartwarming, cute little story. Basically, Emil did a children's book many years ago, and just recently he turned it into kind of a YouTube video. I worked with him. I think some other people worked with him on kind of translating it into English, so that he could do a version in English. And it's just such a great tale. Especially if you've got little kids or something, like check this out, watch it with your kids. It is so fucking adorable. And when you're done with that, then go back and check out his old He-Man video, which is just a whole different thing. And yeah, I mean, seeing Emil dressed up as He-Man and all his friends dressed up as characters from Masters of the Universe, pretty freaking classic. So yeah, check out Emil Wickman on YouTube, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, that guy is so talented. Is there anything he can't do?
No, it's kind of sickening actually. So
I love his toy view.
Worthy of being jealous of.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I messaged him today because I had called him yesterday. I'm working on a custom right now, and it's probably not probably. It is the biggest undertaking of a custom that I've ever done. Like it is. It's a lot of work. I thought the slog repaint that I did was a lot of work. It was nothing compared to what I'm doing on this one. And I really had to channel my inner Emil brain, because one of the things I really love about his tributes that he does is that he tries to use as many mythic parts as possible. Like he really tries to not use any third-party parts. If he does, it's typically just like a head, and that's it. And he finds new and creative ways to use mythic parts. So that's what I've been doing on this one. And I'm really trying to like stretch myself. And so I found myself at one point today, I was like sitting on the floor of my living room with just carnage all around me, like just piles of parts and everything, to the point where my dog couldn't even get through the living room. And so he's just sitting there whining at me because he can't get past all the shit that I got on the floor. And I had to message Emil and say, like, dude, you created a monster, because I'm like you now. Because he shows me his pile of carnage every now and then. He'll have like a table just full of just like figures that he's just torn apart, and they're just everywhere. Yeah, so I got myself a little bit in the mind of Emil this week, and it's an interesting place. But yeah, that guy can do anything. I mean, he can sculpt, he can paint, he can act, he can sing. whatever.
Yeah.
So if you watch my birthday if you watch my birthday celebration last week on Shooting the Shelf, he can do it in drag.
Oh my God.
Too. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah. Yeah. So good stuff.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was a fun night. I think that was my most memorable birthday that I've had. That was awesome. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's go around and kind of plug whatever we got. Rygon, you guys going live tomorrow?
Yes, I believe we're going live later, so we'll probably be 7:30ish. So Saturday day live at night, evening edition, whatever you want to call it.
After hours.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So check out Rygon tomorrow on Saturday day night live after hours. Chris, you got anything coming up?
Tomorrow, if you're in the New York, Connecticut area, shop the Curiosity Show. I'm probably not gonna be able to make it, but I have some buddies going. So if you're in the area, come check it out. Horsemen are gonna be there.
That definitely should be a lot of fun, and you'll get it sounds like you'll get a crack at the figure obscura if they're not sold out by the time you get to the table. So yeah, check that out for sure. Cool. Joe, I think this is the week you're traveling, right? So no Joe G live this week.
That's no Joe G live. And Oz, he popped in a little bit earlier. I want to give him a little bit of a plug. Ostradamus Toys on YouTube. Oz's computer took a dump on him.
Oh boy!
So he's not able to go live right now. So he opened a merch shop to try and raise money for to get himself a new computer so that he can start doing his shows again. So if anybody is able to or interested, go and check out Ostradamus Toys merch shop. Help the guy out so he can get back online.
I don't know what that is. Is that like a website or something?
I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. I assume that it would be linked somewhere on his YouTube channel.
Okay.
I've been working, so I haven't got to actually look at it yet, but they were talking about it on the Frenzy last night. So because he's usually on that show, but he wasn't able to because his computer's not functional. So I think Ed from Axion Toys is doing the clubhouse until Oz gets back. But yeah, if anybody's can help the guy out, Oz is a good dude. So
yeah, I'm on his went to his YouTube, and it definitely has, it's got a link tree, but I don't see anything with that. So we'll take a look.
I will find out.
Yeah, if we can figure it out and maybe put it in the Legend Daddy Facebook group. Yeah.
In the Legend Daddy's Facebook group. So if you're not in the Legend Daddy's Facebook group, get in there. We'll post
beautiful.
That link, so
beautiful. And let me, while we're at it, let me see what we've got, because we were working on our head count here. So let's see where we're at, because we had some giveaways and stuff we were working towards.
Looks like 270.
270. We were going to do 300, 400, and 500, right? So we got about 30 more there. And then let me check.
So I got a question. So when you hit super chat status on this channel, does their super chats fund your super chats for other shows super chats? Is it just like an endless super chat thing?
Well, people say that to me when people say that to me when they do that on Shooting the Shelf when they do a super chat. But you have to keep in mind that the Just Shelve It channel is Jesse's channel. So if you do a super chat on Shooting the Shelf, you're giving money to Jesse, which does not fund me giving super chats to other people. So it is not just a vicious cycle.
What's worse than that is giving super chats, and the people who are getting those super chats don't even know how to get the money.
That's the my wife is going to kill me, guys. They're at some point. I think that might be their retirement plan. Like, because they've been getting super chats for years and they've never been able to pull it out. So never been able to pull out. But yeah, they're gonna get to like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and then they're gonna be like, oh shit, we got a lot of money in here.
I'll still be waiting on my t-shirt.
Exactly. Yeah, same. So yeah, let's see, what do I got going on? Tomorrow I'll be backstage PGG Live. They have I should know who the guest is, and I don't. George. They got George Gaspar. I'm excited about that one because I haven't talked to George before. Yeah. So George is on PGG Live tomorrow. Sunday for Shooting the Shelf, we've got Dusty Standiford and Ange Hart, amazing couple from Dang Studios. Dusty's obviously got another comic book that he's working, or coloring book that he's working on. He's working on a cosmic one, so he's got a couple images that we're going to show from that. Ange has been doing some awesome customs, so we'll kind of talk to her about her customs, and they're just a fun couple to hang out with. We hung out, Jesse and I hung out with them at MesquiCon, and yeah, they're just a ton of fun. So it'll be cool to talk to them Sunday night and Sunday afternoon. If you're not busy, come join us in the customizing studio. We're always waiting for the day that Joe Gonzalez decides to join us for the customizing studio. I don't think he likes.
I tried that one week. I tried and it kept locking up on me. I don't know. It happened twice. Of course, it was the week that you were supposed to be there and then wasn't.
Yeah.
I popped in. I was like, "Where's Curtis?" And then it locked up. And I logged back in, and Emily's like, "Hi, Joe," and I'm like, "Hi," and nobody's moving. I'm like, I gave up on it.
Well, if you're interested,
one of these weeks.
Yeah, if you're interested, message me on Facebook, and I can get you in the group on Sunday. We start at 1 p.m. Eastern, and everybody's just kind of working on their different projects. So we got some people working on dios, some people working on sculpting, some people working on painting, some people just hanging out and having fun. So if you're interested, hit us up and join on Sundays. It's a lot of fun. So. Everybody, make sure you get up bright and early tomorrow. Get your figure obscuras. Good luck shopping.
Hey, I want to tell a quick funny story too.
Sure.
Because I haven't got to tell anybody the story yet, but I think it's hilarious. So when I was on the clubhouse last week on Saturday, I was opening some toys, some Mythic Legions, so I had muted it. Well, I was doing that because I didn't want to interrupt the show, with the sound of plastic and everything. And then I get a phone call from work. So I'm like, oh, shit, it's work. So I did the stop cam mute out of force of habit. And I actually unmuted because I already had it muted.
That's
so
funny.
Those poor guys had to sit through like a 2-minute phone call of me talking to the guys at work. Like, shit, that funny. Sucks, man. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny, and then I came back on and I was like, oh shit, I unmuted it, didn't I? And they're like, yep, we heard the whole thing. Actually, I didn't even go back and listen to it. Like, I don't want to know.
That's funny. That's pretty good.
That was my funny story. Being a jackass.
I'm trying to pull something up real quick. Open image in new tab. Okay. Present, share screen, and yeah, that's the bad boy I'm waiting on right there. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. That's just pure hotness right there. That's going straight on my Superman shelf.
What?
It's got like the little electric effects and stuff to it. Man, that's gonna be cool. So,
do you already have Superman Blue?
It's sitting in my pile of loot right now. So this is where you guys could maybe help me. It's sitting in my pile of loot, and I don't want to ship it because I know I want, like, I don't want to ship one thing, you know,
Buy more
right?
stuff. Buy more
Well,
stuff.
that's what I'm saying. I need something to buy. I've been literally, I've gone on to Big Bad Toy Store like the last 3 days, just trying to find even one thing to buy to add to my pile of loot so that I feel comfortable shipping it. And I can't find one thing that I want. So,
Nothing. Damn.
I
D&D,
think
Dwarf.
that you will genuinely, yeah, and they just got it back in stock too.
How much
this
is
last week? It was sold out. 37.
Yeah,
It's
that's
less
not
than
bad.
40.
That might be the way to go.
Yeah. And it comes with a ton of stuff. So
Yeah, that might be the way to go. That's not a bad price. I thought they were more like somewhere around the $50 mark. So,
I think it was 37.
What about the
Something like
the
that.
Mega Man figures that Chris showed?
Oh,
do
I
they
didn't
have
wanna
those
make
in the
noise.
toy store?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
yeah.
Really? Ooh, that might be a good one. Yeah, I need Chris to
those
actually
Mega Man
open up one of his
Cards.
toys so he can tell me
I
if
know.
it's good. So
I
you know,
took the stuff. I don't know if
Chris
you
is
guys
one of
can
those
see it with my
inbox
crappy
guys.
internet, but these are the gemstones that the figure came with. I don't know if they're showing up at all.
Oh, nice.
There's like a heart from Legend of Zelda, and like I don't know, some type of purple crystal that looks like it belongs in Star Trek.
$20.
Okay.
So
I've got
the
one.
lithium crystals.
All right. I got one. Let me pull this up and you guys tell me if I should get this or not. Should I get the 90s Aquaman with the hook hand?
No.
No, that yeah.
You know,
All right.
the comic wasn't bad.
That's the only Aquaman I've
And
ever
you'll have
actually
it-
enjoyed reading. Yeah.
Right, because Peter David was writing during that period of time that he had the hook hand, and
Yeah.
Peter David's a damn fine writer. You'll also, if you get that Superman, you'll have a Plastic Man torso to plug those arms into. So
That's
I
Yeah,
mean,
I think let's see. I have the torso, the arms, and then the other two are the Green Lantern and the Batman. I definitely don't want that fucking Batman because it's just a repaint of the one that they've done before. The Green Lantern's a different one.
John Stewart one.
I mean, I already have a John Stewart, but it's like I don't know if it's supposed to be like a younger John Stewart. Ooh, let's get
Mega Man,
Chris
dude.
up there.
It's $20.
Dude, he feels so good. All the joints feel good.
And that's how much? $20?
$20
Yeah.
bucks.
No.
Dude, that's fucking nice.
Yeah.
Hey, does he have like some blast effects or something too?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, he's got the cannon that you can swap out with his arm, right? Or his hand. Then he's got a whole 2 more hands. He's got a blast effect there. And another head. Like that's a lot of stuff for $20. But
All right, you guys have
paint-
to with me.
the paint is so freaking good on these guys. I mean, that is Mega Man.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah, Jade is putting out some good shit, man.
So good.
mhm.
I just wish they could get it out faster, like the Street Fighter line. You know, I've got most of what they've put out, but I haven't seen who is it, Dalcium and M Bison yet. I haven't seen them, and I've got them pre-ordered at Big Bad Toy Store, but I just they haven't come in yet, but they're really good.
Are you waiting to see Iceman in store, or are you?
No, I was dabbling, right? I was like, all right, so out of the 3, I think Mega Man and Fireman are going to sell out first. So I'll grab them off of. I got these guys off of Amazon. I'll grab them off of Amazon.
So the Aquaman is available right now. The Batman is available right now, and then the John Stewart Green Lantern is a pre-order. And if I got all of those, then I would be able to get the Plastic Man
That's true.
and have, which I'm not a huge Plastic Man fan. My mom loved him when I was a kid, so it'd be kind of cool to have him just for that. because it was like the only comic book character that she really liked. Yeah, so that would be kind of cool. That Jon Stewart looks. I like the Aquaman, and I definitely like the Green Lantern. The Batman, I would probably just, I don't know, throw it in the trash. I got no use for that Batman whatsoever. So
that
they
Jon
put out-
Stewart
Go ahead.
looks. The Jon Stewart one looks exactly like the one NECA did in that 2-pack with the Sinestro Corps Predator, where you got the Hal Jordan and the Jon Stewart head.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've put out, this is the third Jon Stewart that they've done, I think. The first two were pretty much identical, but with different accessories. And then this one's completely different. Let me
Like
just
the first
pull that up
appearance.
real quick.
Stewart feel.
You say it's a first appearance?
It's similar to the first appearance.
Gotcha. And I think there's a platinum edition for him too. So let me share my screen. So, and this is going to be tiny, but so that's the new one. I think this is the one I've got. And then there's this one, which is the same mold, a little bit different colors. There was the one, the one had the swords and the other one had like the Gatling gun.
Yep.
Both had the same head. And I think it was the same sculpt, just kind of a little bit different color.
It's brighter.
And then this one is the new one. And yeah, it definitely has a different look to it. I thought that they had a platinum. Let me see. Could be wrong. Do they? Oh, yep. It sure does look like it.
I'm assuming that's the Chase one.
Yeah, that's the platinum one.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I don't recognize that suit. I don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
If anybody in the chat knows, let us know in the comments. Yeah, I don't know what that. It's a different one. The head, I think, is the same. Yeah, it looks like the head's the same. Arms, waist, everything else is the same except for the torso. It looks like.
Kind of reminds me of the who was Kyle Rayner? Is it Ion? The Ion version of Kyle?
Oh yeah.
That's what it reminds me.
It does look a little bit like that, but even you can see the packaging like here versus this one. Like it's got the same accessories. It's got the legs for Plastic Man. I mean, everything's pretty much the same except for the torso. So, and I don't know what this thing goes for, but platinum prices on that's not going to be cheap. And I don't know. I think I like the regular version better than the platinum. So it looked like they were saying that every one of them had a platinum edition. Let me see.
I heard they were going to go that route where just about everything was going to have a chase.
Is this? Yeah, here's a platinum version.
Let's
see. Just
his arm is black instead of silver.
Yeah,
and
that's what it looks like.
The green on his pants is a little lighter.
Yeah, I mean it's the exact same sculpt, just a little bit different paint job. So, yeah, I mean you can see the packaging here versus there. I mean everything else is the same except for a little bit different green, and the arm thing is black instead of silver. Okay, now let's see if there was a Batman one, because maybe that's a way for me to get that Batman piece without getting that shitty one. JLA.
Did you see the new Batman and Bane 2-pack? The Nightfall 2-pack?
Yeah.
No. Wait. Yes, I did. Yeah, because I think it was like $69 or something.
Yeah. The Bane looks really good though.
Well, the Bane, that's a reissuing like a recolor of the Bane that they released by itself. I
Is
think
it?
is that mega figure.
I think this looks a little more like, I guess, cartoony. You know
No,
what?
I mean,
You
like
might
the same sculpt, but it's a different like colorway.
I have one, and I have it up on the screen. Hang on a second. Let me take a look.
I thought they were going to do a platinum on each of these, but I'm not seeing one on the Batman. So maybe they didn't. Which kind of
There's
sucks.
so many Batmans. How can you tell?
Yeah, no
right.
shit. I mean, this is just basically the 3 Joker Batman that they did in black. That's all that this is. So,
Yeah, that Bane is badass.
Yeah, I love this Bane, but I have the picture up of the new one on there. So there's extra straps across the chest on the new one, so that is different.
yeah, it comes with fist on the new one too.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that people were complaining about with the first one, is that he didn't have fist.
Well, I mean,
I bet you they reused some.
who's to say Bane just won't bitch slap Batman? I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, you don't use your fist when you're breaking somebody's back. You know,
That's
you
true.
grab them and, yeah. So Kevin says, couldn't find a Batman Platinum. Yeah, I don't know that it's out there. I thought they said that there was one for every figure in that wave, but I'm not seeing one. So, which kind of sucks, because I actually dig the Green Lantern. I dig the Aquaman. If there was a Platinum Batman that I wasn't opposed to, I would probably get all of them for the.
I think it's just I think there was. I think it's just a color variation.
Yeah, I looked at that though. I didn't see anything.
I think it's the Batman logo on the chest is different.
I mean, because I looked at, like, even on the pictures, I looked at the packaging, and there was none of them that had a platinum logo. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was.
Let me know, but
is it the Platinum Green Lantern Batman, or is it just a regular?
It's the JLA, the one with the Plastic Man parts.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm not seeing one. Seeing one for all the other figures, but not that one. So let me stop sharing here and share here. And the really bad thing is he's got the fucking good parts too. Like, he's got the like stretchy arms and the stretchy neck and head, like,
Yeah.
like he's got the parts that
They
you really
knew what
want.
they were doing.
Right. They even threw the same, like, grappling gun or whatever that the 3 Jokers Batman had. Like, it's the exact same thing, just in a different color. It's dude, so cheap. Like, just sell me the Plastic Man. Whatever. Well, if anybody finds out that they do have a Platinum Batman, let me know, because I might be interested. I just don't want this one. So I've already got like 15 Batmans. Plus I got the Mafex one, which is the, quintessential Batman. Like, you don't get better than that. Yeah,
it's perfection.
Absolutely. And I got the Mezco 89, which, as long as you don't move it, it's all right.
It's
and then I've got the one set that I really like is the McFarlane movie set. Like, that's actually really nice. Where it's got all the different movie Batmans. That's pretty nice. So, all right. Well, I gotta go do some shopping and try to fill my pile of loot so I can ship my blue Superman and then show it off to Ryan. So,
bitch.
All right. Anything else, guys? No.
I think that's a solid show right there.
That is a solid show. We never got Jesse to join us. He must have had D&D run late. So, all right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the OffWorld. Later.
Good night, everyone.